why we should choose history as an optional. 80% of the work, 80% of the syllabus of the history optional, you prepare when you prepare it for, you feel that you can do it within 3 months. No, bache. Right, ancient India, we used to prepare only for preliminary examination, but they have asked question. Hello, bacho. Today we will see why we should choose history as an optional. Bacho, today I would like to highlight some important points regarding this. First of all, choosing history optional is a strategic decision. I always feel that it's a strategic choice. Why I am trying to assert that it's a strategic choice? Bacho, as you know, that this optional overlaps with general studies. And there are many areas of general studies which you are covering when you take this optional. And one more thing, even if you are not taking this optional, you are preparing this optional. You know how? In this optional, we have two papers. Paper 1, Ancient India, Medieval India. Then in paper 2, you have Modern India, Development after 1947 and World History. And when you prepare general studies, don't you prepare Ancient India? Don't you prepare Medieval India? Don't you prepare Modern India, post-independence, consolidation, reorganization, and even world history? So, when you are preparing general studies, you are already prepared, history optional. Therefore, I always assert this, that taking history optional is a strategic decision, because when you take this optional, you can save some time, you can streamline your preparation, study plan, you can devote more time on other areas, because your ancient India, medieval India, modern India, world history prepared, right? So a little more effort and you are in a position to write answer even in optional. Of course, you need something extra. It's not that you have to prepare optional like general studies. So we have to add some historical input, historians input. You have to add some contemporary accounts. But 80% of the work, 80% of the syllabus of the history optional, you prepare when you prepare it for general studies, right? So, why you should take history as an optional? Number 1 point, that it is, right, a strategic decision. And it helps you in general studies. It helps you in essay writing. It gives you historical context in any topic which you write, right, in your essay. Fine. So, first important point I would like to highlight is that taking history optional is a very good choice, is a strategic choice, and it's a popular choice. Fine, bache. So, this is point 1. Now, point number 2. You should take history optional because of its syllabus. Well-defined, structured syllabus. You will say, no, sir, it's a huge area. It has vast syllabus. No. Actually, all the areas are written, all the areas are defined, right? So therefore you think it's vast. It's not vast. Suppose in any optional, when they are writing a short syllabus and most of the topics are open ended, you feel that this is shorter. You feel that you can do it within 3 months. No, bache. They have not defined it. They have not mentioned all the subtopics. But in history optional, whenever they are mentioning a topic, they are mentioning its subtopic also. For example, Indus Valley civilization, they have mentioned its origin, they have mentioned its features, they have mentioned, right, its town planning, they have mentioned its decline, they have mentioned, right, different subtopics also related to Indus Valley civilization. And it gives you a hint that it's a bigger syllabus, broader syllabus, vast syllabus. No. Syllabus, right, is not vast. Fine. So I emphasized 2 points. Number one, when you take history as an optional, it helps you in general studies. A large section of general studies already prepared when you have history as an optional. And this is more relevant in the context of the recent trend of the question. Have you seen the recent trend? In our main examination, they have started asking question in ancient India. But for general studies, we used to prepare only for, right, ancient India, we used to prepare only for preliminary examination. But they have asked question in main examination, right, from ancient India. And those questions are easy to handle when you prepare history as an optional. Have you seen questions of modern India in general studies? Have you seen questions on world history in general studies? Have you seen questions on post-independence consolidation in general studies? The nature of the question is analytical. The nature of the question is, right, optional, related. So you have advantages. When you take history as an optional, you have advantages in main examination, you have advantages in preliminary examination. There are many areas which you tend to ignore, which you don't prepare in art and culture, in history, ancient, medieval. But when you have optional, you are preparing those areas, so you are in a better position. I am not saying that you would be in a position to handle all the question of general studies once you opt optional. But once you prepare history optional properly, you have a definite edge. You have a definite advantages. So therefore, taking history optional is strategically very important decision. Right? So I told you two things. One, it is strategically advantageous, and second, the syllabus is not vast. It's a myth that history syllabus is vast. It is actually well structured. It is actually well defined. It is actually, right, well explained. Third advantage of taking history optional. Third advantage of taking history optional is that it is safe. है ना बच्चे? It is scoring also. Don't feel that it is not scoring. It is scoring also. You can be a topper with history optional. It is always safe. It is not that dynamic. You don't have to add some new information next year. It is simple. It is not theoretical. It is not theory based. You don't have different perspective. So this is storytelling. This is a simple presentation of facts and analyzing those facts. So it is safe. It is scoring, and it is easy to prepare. And once you have prepared it, you are comfortable. Next year, you don't have to add anything new. Of course, they are asking some current affairs site. In map, they are asking some current affairs based site. I agree. But for art and culture, for general studies, you are preparing current affairs, right? And of course, you are preparing some art and culture related site, some temple site, some inscriptional site if they are in news. So, even if you are not taking history optional, you are preparing those site. Fine. So, history optional is safe. History optional is right scoring. You can see the trend, last year trend, last 3-4 years, how history optional is right coming with toppers, right? Fine. Then the next point I want to emphasize is that in history optional you have sufficient study material, abundant, sufficient resources. You don't feel any problem, you don't face any problem in the context of collecting materials. Only thing you have to do is prepare those material, use those material. Fine. You have good NCRTs, you have good textbook, and previous year questions also they are repeating. So it is not that difficult to manage any topic. So you have sufficient sources, sufficient study material, sufficient guidance, yes, sufficient guidance also, right? So this is also one important advantage of history optional. Next, because today I have to tell you the advantages of history optional. So the next point would be that when you take history optional, you feel relaxed. Why you feel relaxed? Because it is actually a storyline and you have already some idea about those stories. You have done it in your schools. You are always see the discussions among different, right, journalists, politicians about the topics related to history. And nowadays, these discussions are more. So, you already have some idea, familiarity with history related topic. Yes or no? You already have some idea about history related topic. You already know history. Only thing is you have to use it for examination. You have to organize it. You have to arrange these ideas. So therefore, you feel relaxed because you are familiar with it. You already know certain thing. You already know some stories. Fine. You have to only connect. You have to only link. You have to only organize. And we are here to organize. We will help you in organizing. Fine. So in this context also, history as an optional is a good choice. Then bache, next point that you can also remember, that when you take history as an optional, it helps you in broader understanding of current affairs. You would be a better person. You would be a better officer. You would be a better decision maker. Try to think about it, what I said. Your decision would be more correct when you have historical sense. Probably as a good student of history, you would be a rational human being. Probably as a good student of history, you would be a better human being. है ना बच्चे? आप एक बैलेंस्ड आदमी होगे, आप एक रैशनल ह्यूमन बीइंग होगे. आपको एक अच्छी समझ होगी ग्लोबल पॉलिटिक्स की, इंडियन पॉलिटिक्स की, इंडियन डेवलपमेंट की, ग्लोबल डेवलपमेंट की. Fine. So, history will always make you a good officer, a good citizen, right? And of course, a good candidate also, because it will always help you in different areas, even in polity, even in economy. Because when you take any topic of history, as you know this, suppose Delhi Sultanate. So we cover one area: political development, social development, economic development, cultural development. So you have the idea about not only the polity but even society, culture, literature, all those dimensions. So your approach would be holistic approach. You have a better sense, inclusive, right? You have a better idea about any topic. So you would be a better candidate also, right? So in this light, I would always recommend history as an optional, always recommend history as an optional. And I would suggest you to take history, and here we are ready to help you. Here we are providing a very methodical approach. Here we are providing a systematic approach, right? So with class notes only, you can handle this optional in a very organized manner. We will recommend some text, but that would be a minimum, right, requirement, and of course NCRT. And with this, you can easily sail through. Fine. So hope, right, these ideas, right, would be helpful, and all the best for your future. Thanks a lot.